Yeah, you're right.
Video. All right. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Just adjusting a setting or two. All right. My stage name is Dr. J. You can call me Jay if that's more comfortable. We're just gonna get up here and dance a little bit. I got a request to turn the music up, so people want to rock out a little bit today. That's great. Always happy to listen to my playlist at an extended volume. So now you will too. All right, so it is Thursday and it's 11:30. So I think that's time to get up and move around. So let's get rid of this virtual background and hope for the best. Look at that. The room is clean. All right. Da, da, da. All right, all right. All right. Got the funky music going. All right. So, as usual, before our pre-flight, pre-escape instructions or just friendly guidelines, just start breathing. You know, creating that space in the belly, that space in the ribs, space in your brain for this little practice today. And remember, nothing to learn, nothing to perfect. If I step this way, you step that way, your hand's up here, you're not using any hands. There are no consequences. There's nothing at stake. So just do what you see or don't. Don't worry about left hand, right hand. Just relax and breathe. Breathing's the most important thing you'll probably do today. And I'm just going to take a nice breath in and just let my arms slowly rise. Elbows bend and just sink. All right? Like those droplets of water outside the iced coffee, just sliding down just effortlessly. All right, as you inhale, the body naturally rises and settles. Beautiful. One more. Floating up. And everything just sort of becomes a cooked pasta noodle. Nice and relaxed. Arms flow around. Gather around. Hug the big tree and sink the chi. Now, I'm going to take a step out to this side, but you can take a step out to any side you want. And with a nice breath, just letting those elbows bend as we open the door for our practice. I can think of opening the door to possibilities. Maybe get some flow state going. Maybe flow-like state. Or maybe just have a little fun. Floating up and melting down. One more, open the door as my arms float up, float up, float up. My hands round out like I'm hugging a big tree. Inhale and open. And now hug that big tree, gather in, and go back to the beginning with sinking the chi. Sort of waking up and settling the body. I always like to think as I do this how I'm connecting myself to the earth, just sort of melting down, really feeling that connection. This time as my hands float out to the side, we're going to capture a little bit of that energy, so one hand scoops underneath, one hand comes on top for our embrace the ball position or embrace the moon. Letting the hands fly apart. The other hand scoops underneath, scoops on top, capturing a little bit of that light, a little bit of that energy. And add a little bit of a melt as you go down, right? Weaving the body together. It's all connected. I like to inhale as I open and exhale as I melt down. Beautiful. All right. And then just let those fingers drift back together, almost touching. Point towards the Zoom room and just let them slide down as we go back to the beginning of sinking the chi. I'm just going to shift my weight over to this side. I'm going to step out to my corner and just give a little push, right? Nothing fancy, just rolling it back. Sometimes it's just need a little push to get things started. Roll back. Push. One more time. Get up underneath it. And just give it a little push the mountain. Drawing it back in. That foot comes in. Just give it a little sway to the other side. Feeling the weight on that leg. And just step out. Push the mountain over here. Rolling back. Pushing forward, rolling back. Excellent. Everyone's moving mountains today as we push the mountain. Pushing forward, coming back, stepping in, swaying to the other side. I'm going to step out. Just 2 times. I'm going to push the mountain out. Roll it back. Push. Something a little bit different. As I roll back, I'm going to just bring my hands together like I'm receiving a little gift, forming a triangle in front. I'm going to pierce the clouds and turn my hands outward like I'm swimming. Just coming back, forming a little triangle. Pushing forward as we pierce the clouds. Just cutting through a little bit of the storm and the chaos, a little bit of clarity. Beautiful. One more as I pierce forward, hands turn outward, sit back, piercing those clouds. All right, and now I'm just going to bring that foot in and sway over to the other side, stepping out to my corner. Just 2 times. Push the mountain, push, roll back, and push. All right, hand palms turn upward as I come back, forming a little triangle and push the triangle forward. Turn the palms out and separate. I like to use this move when I'm on the subway trying to get into a crowded car. Let me squeeze in there. Excuse me, everybody. You better do it slow. If you do it fast, people might not like it. But gentle parting the clouds. It's helpful to exit the subway or enter it, wherever you might be. Piercing forward, turning the palms outward. Right. One more as I pierce forward. Nice big breath in. And the hands just rest at my side. That foot just comes back. Swing back over to the other side. Stepping out to my corner. Push the mountain 2 times. Push. Roll back. And push. All right. Hands turn upward. Form the triangle 2 times. Let's just pierce the clouds. 1, palms turn outward, swim. 1, One more time. Get on that subway car as you get through all those people. And this time, as my hands come back to my waist, they're just going to kind of follow each other, right? Sliding forward, up, sliding back, down. As we ride the clouds, right? And there's no super specific way to ride the clouds. Any way will do. Just don't ride them too heavy, you might fall through. Gently riding the clouds, I guess. Up and over. Riding through. One more. Ride the clouds. Through. Forward. And then just bring it back into that heart space. Step in. Just gently sway. Feel that rooting in that foot. Step out in 2 times. Push the mountain. Get up underneath it. Push. This time as I draw back, I'm going to pierce the clouds 2 times as I pierce forward, palms turn outward, and swim. I like to inhale as I open up. Then exhale as I go into a little tight space. Alright, this time as my hands come back to my waist, I'm going to ride the clouds as my hands just follow each other and slide forward, come up, around. And just ride in a few clouds today. Up, gently up, down, slide forward. Sliding forward. Alright, one more, ride the clouds. Come forward and then just bring those hands back to center. Bring that foot back. Take a moment to adjust your feet if you want, and then inhale. Reach and gather and sink the chi as we go back to the beginning. Gather in and melt down. One more. Alright, hands float up in front any way you like, and they just drift and suspend themselves as I just sort of float side to side. Yeah, excellent. Now as I float on over to this corner, my hands turn, and I'm again just going to step out on that heel. Yeah, pretty fancy, right? Stepping back in, just float on over. My weight is over here as I step out on this heel. And stepping back, breeze on over to the other side. Stepping out on that heel, put one hand over the foot. Wave it back in, step in and float on over. Heel comes down, hand over foot, wave it back in, stepping in, flow on over to the other side, heel down, hand over foot, and hand under elbow for our play the pipa position. Excellent. And just wave the hands back, bring the foot in, float on through to the other side. Heel, hand, elbow. One more time. Stepping in, floating over. Stepping out on that heel, hand comes over foot, and hand comes under elbow. Stay with me. I'm just going to come forward a little bit, hands raise up, and just do a big circle as we step in. Turn to the other side and step out. Big breath in Stepping in, big breath out. One more to get back to that other side. Just big circle to a little circle. And then I just go with the flow and let those hands just gently circle around to my embrace the moon position. Toss one hand away. And I just toss out like I'm tossing a frisbee. Toss out and just roll it back. And toss. Roll it back. And toss. And I'm going to add that top hand back in again as we part the horse's mane. One hand pushes down to my hip. The other hand goes on a trip. Come back to embrace the moon. Part the mane. Embrace the moon. Part the mane. One more time, then we're going to do that fun transition. So play the pipas as we part the moon. The hand by the hip just rises up. And take a breath. Circle around. Step in and step out. Two more times. Big breath in. One more time. Get back to the other side. Hands drop. Go with the flow. Capture the moon. Tossing one hand away. I toss out. Like I'm reaching into a little fanny pack and grabbing some grains and just tossing them out to feed the chickens. Turning, tossing. Excellent. Adding that top hand back in again. Just gonna push, slide, separate. Embrace the moon. Part that crazy mane on that wild horse. Embrace the moon. Part the mane. One more time. Embrace the moon. Part the mane. Hand by the hip. Raises up. Big breath in as we go big circle to a little circle. Two more times. Big breath in. One more. Big breath. Hands drop. Circle around. And just for fun, I'm going to step in. And I'm going to step out into a lengthened stance. And one of my tricks is I just exhale, relax, and then step out. And you can step out as far or as wide as you want, or as short. One hand goes away. And now in this lengthened stance, I toss out. Just getting a little more distance on that frisbee toss or feeding those hard to reach chickens. If I'm not careful, I will end up in the other room. How far can you toss it, right? Adding that top hand back in again. Embrace the moon. Hands slide apart. One hand takes a long trip. And the other just settles by your hip. Rolling it back. Two more times. Sliding. Separating. How far can you toss it? All right, bottom hand comes up, and I just bring it back. Take your time stepping in. Play the pipa on this side. Two more times, big breath in. And big breath out. One more time, get us back to that other side. Circle. Step in. Turning to my corner and just coming out to play the pipa. Go with the flow. Hands just slide down. Capture a little bit of that moonlight. Step in on the ball of the foot. And I'm going to just step out. Tossing one hand away from the waist. send it. See if I can reach my neighbor's lawn out there. Beautiful. One more. All right, adding that top hand back in again so we embrace the moon and part the mane. Rolling it back to embrace the moon and part the mane. You can roll it back to here. You can roll it back to here. However far your horse's mane is today, that's fine. It could be right here. You're parting it. Maybe you really want to part that horse's mane and just get really far back and just fly away with it. One more time. Parting that horse's mane. All right. Bottom hand comes up. Shift my weight back. The hands drop. Circle. Step. 2 more times. Drop. Circle. And 1 more. Big circle. Stepping in. Play the pipa. Want to hug the corner. Bring it back to center. Step in. However you like. Big breath. Inhale. Open. Fingers come back together, almost touching. Flatten out and slide down. So go back to the beginning. Sinking the chi. Gather in. And up. Reaching. Gathering up. Settling in. Now my hands are just going to keep going. They're going to keep going higher. Higher and higher, and they're just going to fold in over my head. Careful if you have a ceiling fan. Floating past the nose, past the chin, past the heart space, hitting the floor of the belly, pops up. And we go to that far side of the moon, out and over. Pick it up and let it go. The hands just keep going. Folding in, floating in. Hitting the floor of the belly this time, they come out in that heart or diamond shape and reach out, stretching out. Maybe the body's telling you to move those hips, maybe it's telling you to move those shoulders. Just open up that heart, open up the mind a little bit. And finding a nice breath, I'm just gonna exhale and turn off those wrists. And we go back through the heart opener sequence again. Up high, fold in overhead, float past the eyebrows, past the clavicle, hitting the floor of the belly, pop up and out. Lift up and let it go. Hands keep moving. Folding on in. Popping up. Heart or diamond shape, pushing out, thinking out, happy to make connections with all of you. That's what this is about, right? Opening up the heart, opening up our connections to each other. I'm going to turn off those wrists and float down. We'll go through one more time, one last precious set of movements. Folding in overhead, just letting the body settle. Hands pop up, out and over that big belly full of chi, energy. Lifting up and settling down. Arms fold in overhead, sinking past the heart space. Hitting the floor of the belly, pop out and open. Reach out, think out. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up for Tai Chi today. And also, I always like to take a moment to thank my teachers and my teachers' teachers and that amazing, long, unbroken thread that has passed down movements like these so that we can enjoy them on a Thursday morning. Exhaling, I just let those wrists relax. Hands keep flowing, circling around. Sink the chi. 2 more times, just 2 more precious movements as we gather in. Sink down. 1 last sink the chi. Gather in a few scoops of oxygen and melt. I'm just going to bring this foot together. And ending with a bow is always nice, so thank you so much for being here today and making the class possible. All right, let's circle up for a second. Well, I definitely need to turn up my AC a little bit. It is a surprisingly hot one today. So, thank you, everyone. I love always at the end of these practices and these sessions to think about a martial arts principle. And there's a series I've been studying on different principles, and they have practical applications, but they're not just applications for fighting. They're applications, I think, for life, as a lot of people agree. And one of them is the acceptance principle, and that's when it's also a way for you to create time for yourself. So I think a demonstration is good. So let's just do a quick demonstration. So we always have like things pulling us in different directions. So I'm just going to put this on the floor here. So let's just say this is like a pit, right, on the floor, and there's something pulling me into that pit. Now I can sit there and just be like, I don't want to get pulled into this pit. I'm just going to sit here and hold it. But eventually, you will get pulled into there, right? Or you can figure out a way to use it. You know what? Someone is pulling me into that pit. Maybe I can just use that energy to get me over the pit, right? Because there will be tension, there will be energy. And so the sooner you can recognize, hey, I'm going somewhere I don't want to go, you have more time to figure out where you want to go, where you want to take that action. And some fun ideas I think about with the summer is, you make plans with people, they cancel them. You think you're doing one thing, you're going to do another. Now you could sit there and just harp on that person and be like, you need to cancel this meeting, and you need to do this, and you need to show up, and keep harassing them about showing up. Or you could say, well, let's make a plan for next time. Let's use this time to plan for something else. Why don't I use this time and do something else versus waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting till there's no more time left. And so I think about this acceptance principle when you can realize where things are going, before you get into that argument with someone, think about, why am I getting pulled in this direction? How can I use my time and my energy to take it not down into the pit? Don't get pulled into the pit. And again, the longer you fight things before you accept the inevitability of them, the less time you have to respond to that. And so I think about this acceptance principle. It's just one I'm thinking about. I hope that makes sense. The acceptance principle is new to me, but I just wanted to share it because I was excited about it. So thank you, everyone. All right. Well, we got just a few seconds left, but I just want to say thank you, everyone, for showing up, and hope to see you at the next class. Thank you so much.